You are now listening to
D, the Delinquent.
on the podcast.
This is Many Hats, No Cap, baby.
D, the Delinquent. Many hats, no cap.
Welcome to Many Hats, No Cap with Delinquent. Yo, has a fight ever broken out at your place of work? Oh man, I've been through a lot of that. I've been damn near in every job that I've ever had. In all those companies, a fight has broken out. Maybe a couple of them. And maybe I was one of the ones fighting. I don't know. We'll never know. But yeah, several fights have went down in several jobs that I've had. And they're awesome. But I am going to share with you a specific fight that happened when I was a service writer at a big corporation, big power sport company. I love power sports, by the way. I love the power sport industry. ATVs, UTVs, dirt bikes, motorcycles, watercraft. I love all that. I'm actually a service writer right now, and I love it. But anyway, so we was working in this little, we called it the shoebox, because it was a little square room, and there was 4 service writers at the time, one on each corner. And there was 2 doors to come in, right? We had 2 big dual doors to come in. That was the main entrance. And then we had a small door to go out. Actually, there was 3 doors. And the third door was like handicap access. It was a long ramp. Nobody ever used that door. Anyway, one day, I'll just say his name because he's cool and me and him are cool. Awesome cat. Mike Tudis. Big motherfucker, man. To this day, I think that he was using roids, but he swears he was all natty, whatever they say. But anyway, it was me, him, this other cool cat who's now a border patrol agent or something like that, Russell Johnson, and this other dude named Randy. Randy was a cool cat too. Awesome motherfucker. He's now in the car industry. He's now doing something with cars. I don't know what Mike's up to. So we're just chilling, doing our work one day in the box. And this job consisted of us constantly updating customers and just upselling recommendations that the techs might have and yada yada yada. We was making money. Good money. Lots of money. So it was kind of weird this day. Now, I ain't saying that we were, but maybe we was drinking on the job. This is an eye condition. I'm not winking my eye. So maybe we was all drinking on the job, except Russell Johnson. He was a clean cut, by the book dude. Super cool cat, though. And he didn't judge nobody. So maybe 3 of us had a little bit too much to drink on this day. That was slow. Now, I don't know why. This is the weirdest shit. I don't know how this conversation came about. But Mike Tudis and Randy started talking about shaving down there. Randy's like, "Do you shave down there?" And Mike's like, "Yeah, I shave down there." And then Mike just whips it out. And Randy starts laughing. Then Mike says, "Do you shave down there?" And Randy says, "Yeah." And then Randy turns around and just moons Mike. And we start laughing. Me, Randy, and Russell, we started laughing. It was funny. We didn't expect Randy to do that. But Mike gets mad. What the fuck, fool? Why you show me your ass for? Which was weird. It's like, wait, hold up. You're mad that he showed you. You're mad that he showed you his ass instead of his wank wank. Anyway, remember, maybe we was drinking. So Randy starts laughing. Mike comes up to him, and Mike gives him a shove. Now Mike, he's like ex-UFC cat, boxer. He knows his shit. Randy, he doesn't know his shit, but he's not afraid to get into some shit. So Mike gives him a shove, and Randy pushes him back. Then all of a sudden, within 10 seconds, Mike does this crazy move, puts him in a headlock. Go to sleep, motherfucker, go to sleep. And Randy, he had these glasses, and he had a fake eye. His glasses are all tilted, and he's just staring at me like wanting me to help him. He's just staring at me, and then he just passes out. Mike's holding him up, and then Mike lets him go. Body flop. We had a big window to the service office where the service manager was. His name was Ralph. I hate that motherfucker. A lot of people like him, but they don't know him how I did. Fuck him. Anyway, Ralph comes up to the window, and he's just holding his hips, shaking his head, looking down at the body. Mike took off out the big doors, and Ralph just looks at me and he throws his hands up, and I can read his lips. What the fuck? And anyway, Ralph runs around the building, comes into the shoebox. He's slapping Randy around to wake him up. Randy comes to, he's all convulsing and shit, foam coming out his mouth and all that. And Ralph says, what happened? And then when Randy snaps out of it, Randy says, motherfucker, choke me, man, choke me. And he gets on the phone with his wife and yada yada. Day was over. Well, the next day we come back to work. Mike ain't there. Mike's pulling a no-call, no-show. But Randy and his wife are there with the police. Randy's wife took this shit to a whole nother level. She wanted the law to get involved. She was looking out for her husband. Cool woman. I tilt my hat to that. But you got the cops involved now, dog. What the? Control your woman. Anyway, cops are involved. They're asking everybody questions. Our GM at the time, Sean, cool dude, he comes to the shoebox with a couple cops. And Russell, he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see nothing. I left the shoebox before that all happened. Lie. But anyway, he got away with that. So then the cop comes to me with the GM, Sean, and the cop has his little notepad. And the cop's like, what'd you see happen here? I look at Sean, I look at the cop, and I said, I didn't see nothing. Then the cop looks around. Remember, this is a small-ass shoebox. We called it a shoebox because it was a small room. Cop looks around, then looks at me again. Pretty much implying, how did you not see nothing in this small room, And then I say it again, I'm sorry, I didn't see nothing. And then Sean says, Joey, you mean to tell me you're in a 10 by 10 fucking room with no furniture, a fight breaks out in the middle of this bitch and you didn't see nothing? And I said, I was on the phone. The cop closes his notebook. Oh, fuck. He's pissed as fuck. And the cop tells Sean, and, I'm right there, I can hear him. And the cop says, this ain't gonna get nowhere. I don't know what's gonna happen. And he left. The next day, Mike comes back to work. We're all quiet. It's all awkward in the shoebox. Mike just says out of nowhere. This is like halfway through the day. I think the silence and the vibes and all that tension in the room Mike couldn't deal with it. Because Mike's a good dude. Mike really is a good dude. But short temper. Anyway, Mike says out of nowhere, loud, I'm sorry, Randy. And he walks over to Randy, hugs him. And then he says, I don't know how I can make this up to you, but I don't know. Do you like guinea pigs? I look at Russell sitting across from me. Russell looks at me. We look at each other like, this is fucking weird. And then Randy says, I love guinea pigs. They hug it out. Mike says, give me an hour. He hops in his SRT, and at the time, it was a brand new Dodge, Chrysler, whatever that was, at 300 SRT. Badass fucking whip. He bounces, comes back, and he gave Randy 2 guinea pigs, and they made up, and they became best friends after that shit. Fucking weird, bro. Fucking weird. But anyway, I got closer to Randy after that whole situation. Randy was trying at first to get me to say something to the police because his wife was pushing the subject. I never would. But during that time, me and Randy became close too. I started to learn a lot of things about Randy. Nobody ever asked him about his eye. But I got in so good with Randy, fuck it. I asked him. I said, yo, what happened to your eye, bro? Now, maybe we were drinking again, okay? We'll never know. This is an eye condition. I'm not winking my eye. And maybe it was one of those days where maybe we was drinking too much. Randy starts telling me the story. And it started off like this. I was going 80 in Cape Cod. I swear to God. Anyway, this is his story. I was going 80 in Cape Cod. We were drunk. Now I was going about 90. And then all of a sudden, my wife brings up some old shit. And I said, "Shut up, stupid bitch." And then she just kicks the fucking gear shifter into park. And I lose control of the truck. We rolled about 4 or 5 times. And then when the truck stopped rolling, we were on the roof and shit. Police got there, fire trucks, everything. We're all climbing out the windshield. And I said, "You stupid bitch, look at my shirt. It's all fucked up." I looked down and I was like, "Oh, fuck, what's that?" I thought it was like jam or something. And I tried to wipe it off with my right hand. Then I realized it was my eye. Damn. Woo. True story, man. But yeah, that's some shit, man. That's some crazy shit. But fights at the workplace, that shit just happens. If fights ain't happening where you work, I don't know, man. Maybe it's just not exciting. Cause when people don't fight or at least argue in the workplace, that just seems like a fucking too uptight environment that I don't want to be in. I want to be in places and working places and just where shit is just shaking up from time to time. You know, being uncomfortable and having weird situations and awkward times and good times and all that shit, that's what makes life and every other day interesting. Just my opinion. Now, if you want to be safe and go to work where, it's just the same shit day in and day out, that's on you. But to me, fuck nah. That shit's boring, bro. That shit is fucking horrible. Speaking of that, I just saw this crazy movie called The Endless. Now, it wasn't a big blockbuster, multi-billion-dollar production, all that shit, and they didn't have crazy good actors, Tom Cruise, Tom Hardy, all that, But it was a good movie. Had me thinking about some shit. See, it was about, I think it was filmed like in 2018 or something. It's on Prime, if you want to check it out. It's called The Endless. And it's about this supposed cult that's just believing in and worshiping this deity in the forest, this unknown force, this fucking energy mass, some kind of thing out there. These two brothers, they escaped this cult when they were younger, and then they started telling everybody, all the media, about these people, about how fucked up they were, how brainwashed they had their campers. And all of a sudden, the little brother wants to go back. Because when he was a kid living with that cult, he thought it was all sunshine and rainbows and Hallmark cards. You feel me? He only remembered the good times. He remembered good food and smiling faces and just good vibes. The older brother was completely against this. But the way the story goes, the older brother's always looking out for the little brother, and he just wants to keep him happy, and he knows that they've been through some traumatic shit. So he agrees to take the little brother back to the cult, hoping that the little brother will understand this is a fucking cult and we don't belong here. We left for a reason. But that doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. When they get back to the camp with this cult, the brother starts liking the vibes. He starts liking the way they live. So anyway, a whole bunch of shit starts happening in the movie. And then they realize there's just loops going on. It's the same shit repeating itself over and over. And different people have different loops in this story. And this is all because the deity, the god there, the energy force, whatever it is in that forest is making it this way. This is how this force thrives, eats, survives. It keeps everybody in their own loops. They just keep repeating their shit over and over again. It's kind of fucked up. Some people die gruesome deaths and shit. So the brothers discover, oh shit, not only is the deity real, but people here are just living over and over the same shit, and they're just dying over and over the same way. I won't tell you guys the ending, don't worry. But there's a part of the movie where the little brother tells the older brother, even after they discovered all this, that he wants to stay. That he still wants to stay in the camp. Not only that they escaped, but the camp that they survived, right? And the big brother's like, what the fuck, are you crazy? You want to die over and over again? You're okay with that? And the little brother says, dying is quick. And at least in this loop, it's a good life. And it's pretty cool living forever. The older brother's still like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard, you know? And the little brother says, that's better than the life we live in the real world. Repeating the same shit over and over again. Going to the same shitty job. Barely having any money. And just getting by. And that's a long, long, boring life. And then the big brother gets it. He understands. Like, oh shit. But like I said, I won't tell you the ending. But man, it's a good script. It's a good film. Y'all should definitely go check that out. But that's just emphasizing my point, man. Like, the same shit over and over every day. Especially at work. That's just boring, bro. That's just life draining. That just sucks the life and energy out your fucking body, your soul, your mind. Like, fuck that. Give me a fight or two. Give me some drama. A lot of companies are like, no gossip in here. Nah, fuck that. I'll take some gossip. It keeps shit exciting. I think that's why I'm really happy where I'm at today. Not that, we have nothing but gossipers and fights and shit. But no, it's a family-owned business. It's not a corporation. There's no HR there. But everybody gets along and people argue. Tensions raise. People have disagreements. And then there's a shit ton of funny, good, happy times. But every day is different. Even though we're always offering the same shit. I'd take that over anything else. You feel me? Ladies and gentlemen, just don't get stuck in a loop.
Many hats, no cap.